What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Will back with another video. Now today we're gonna be getting into another interesting video topic. Make sure y'all hit that sub button and like button, man. Join my show, join the crew, and help me keep things running around here. So today we're gonna be talking about quarterback Deshaun Watson. It is after Monday night, so we have seen all the quarterbacks play for week 2. And just seeing all the quarterbacks we've played from week 2, Deshaun was probably a top 5 quarterback out of all the quarterbacks that played week 1. But I'm not going to come on here and obviously not talk about all the different stuff he could improve. Don't mind me while I fix my chair real quick. Get a little closer for y'all. All the different stuff I feel like he could improve. And I will go off a lot of things that I've seen either at the game and I've seen on film. I'm starting to learn from film and different plays and sets a little bit more. Only reason I haven't did a film breakdown for y'all, I don't want to come on here and say stuff that I'm not too extremely familiar with. But I do got film. If you guys ever want me to, we can go through and sit through and talk about it. But when you look at the game at a mass, Joe Burrow played terrible. Deshaun Watson, for the second game with Joe Burrow in a row, has looked like the better quarterback. And the game that Joe Burrow played against the Browns, the last 2 games last year, and this game all equals up to him playing bad against the Browns. Now, the weather was a big factor. He was gripping the ball too hard. Joe Burrow also mentioned that he was gripping the ball too hard. The rain, both coaches talked about how they didn't expect it to rain, so they had a game plan that didn't have weather related. And then on top of having a game plan that wasn't weather related, the ball was extremely tough to throw. So right then and there, I don't see why the national media or anybody wants to come on here and say that Deshaun doesn't look like Deshaun when nobody could pass the ball good. Like, that's type of stuff that makes no sense. People will sit up here and critique and criticize Deshaun from a game-by-game basis, but then we gas Joe Burrow up and act like Joe Burrow is close to Mahomes. He's not close to Mahomes, just for anybody that ever wants to argue that. We act like Joe Burrow is the second thing closest to Mahomes, and we don't mention how terrible he played. If anything, if we talk about a strict game-to-game basis, not a game-to-game basis, but comparing the two, if he can outplay Joe Burrow, let's see what he do next week against the Steelers. The Steelers game, and then week 1 across the board in the NFL was just a real fluky, weird week. You've seen a lot of different people have the same amount of issues that the Bengals and the Browns had. But nonetheless, the Browns look like a top 5 team in football. I would go top 3, but, besides the Eagles, the Niners, the Browns, the Dolphins, those look like top 5 teams in football. They really do. So just going over everything, as far as his passing game goes, I feel like Deshaun is something that he has to improve on. He wasn't too terrible with the sacks last week, but he could have been a little bit better. A couple plays where he could have just threw the ball away. And he has this thing in his neck where he feels like he has to make this big play every play. And I love that about him. I love the fact that he wants to take shots. He wants to make a splash play. I like that. But you're not in Houston no more. You know what I'm saying? You got weapons. You don't need to make that big splash play. You don't need to throw a touchdown every play. I like that you like doing it, but sometimes just take the quick one. Just take the check down sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And I think he could do a much better job of just taking the check downs. But he was excited. He was out there trying to make the big play. Everything that I've seen out of Deshaun Watson shows me that he was just super happy to be out there and play football, and he wanted to put on a show. Like, he came out there. The game plan was to put on a show. Like, that was the game plan. The game plan was to go deep, take shots, put on a show. That's what Deshaun was trying to go out there and do. I think he knows that he's back, and I think he knows and he's excited to show that. And I think he was especially excited to show that against the Bengals because he was trying to take a deep shot every play, man. He'd break the route, he'd break out, boom, be out of structure. Elijah Moore is right there for 5 yards. Dump that motherfucker off, you know what I'm saying? Dump it off. But he want to wait for Coop and throw a deep ball, which we have never seen. So maybe as Browns fans, we're gonna be kind of agreeable with when it doesn't happen. and be upset when it doesn't happen. But we haven't seen nothing like that, man. We kind of got to respect it. But he does want to try to go out there and make a play. If he could do a check down to Elijah Moore might take that to the house. You know, Amari Cooper probably won't, but Elijah Moore might take that to the house. So Nick Chubb might take that to the house. David Njoku, like, you got playmakers around you. So you don't always have to be the playmaker. I think that's something he either was too excited, like extremely excited, like, because you can read body language. Like, let's be real here for everybody that want to talk and discuss stuff. You can read body language. Last year, he was completely uncomfortable. He was not talking, celebrate, anything. Man, at the game, he was so into everything. He was pointing at where the ball went out on the punts. He was jumping around, screaming, jumping in the crowd. Like, he was having fun out there. You know, I think a lot of this has to do with him being way too excited. The weather, he was way too excited. And that shows me that the mental part is there, though. That's the key. That's where my encouragement comes in. I think a lot of the stuff comes out from last year was mental. This game, he came out and he just wanted to throw a 100-yard bomb so bad. Like, even in the game, he was just waiting for it to snap. And then he got two of them, the Marquise Goodwin, and he underthrew them because I don't know. I'm gonna say it's because the ball couldn't get that far. You know, when it starts raining, the ball gets super heavy, so it's hard. You gotta grip it harder. When you're gripping a football harder, the ball hits the turf a lot. And then throwing a ball 60 yards in a pouring rain when the ball's already heavy is going to be hard to do. So he missed on his two deep shots. They were both underthrown, in my opinion. But it's not like he can't make that throw. That's situational. So, yeah, I feel like that's what it really comes down to, man. We just need a larger sample size. But I want you guys to keep in mind, man, if he does come out and he terrorizes somebody, people are going to say that's one good game. That's one good game. That's exactly what everybody's going to say. So it's going to be a catch-22 all year until it's a world-renowned fact that he's a top-5 quarterback. Other than that, you're going to have to deal with this every week as Cleveland Browns fans. But who gives a damn? The best thing about going 1-0 is the ability to go 2-0, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, man. Ride with 4, ride with the Browns. It's your boy Will. Hope you love this video. I'm out.